Ever been asked a tough question about your faith and you didn't know how to answer it? You're not alone. Join us here at Grace and Clarity as we tackle controversial topic will help us stand firm in truth.
So, can we talk about that? Like, were the disciples hallucinating, or did they steal the body, or did anything else happen, or was it just a resurrection?
So over the years, there have been really four main theories for how we can explain this claim that Jesus was resurrected. The third idea is sometimes called the swoon theory.
Yeah.
That Jesus swooned on the cross, meaning he fainted and went unconscious, and then the Romans took him down and put him in the cave, and then he woke up in the tomb, and then left. That doesn't work either. You did not survive the Roman crucifixion.
Sure.
The Romans were very good at killing people. They did it to thousands. They would flog someone with not just a whip, but the whips had chunks of bone and metal in the end, and just rip the flesh off the back. Many people didn't survive the flogging. They didn't even make it to the crucifixion because they were killed just by that part. And we know Jesus endured that too because he was ordered to be flogged first. So Jesus was on the cross. He died. We don't need to talk about how someone dies on the cross. It's a horrible death. The Romans knew how to do it. They were good at it. And he was dead when they brought him down. Another thing too, if a Roman soldier brought down a crucifixion victim that was still alive, and then that person was whatever let go, the soldier would be killed instead. So the Romans did not lightly, they weren't careless, I should say.
Yeah.
They knew how to tell someone was dead. And I've even seen articles from doctors and stuff that talked about the spear going in the side and the water gushing out and describing exactly what had happened in Jesus's body. He was dead. It was clear to the Romans and just clear from the description as to what happened. And even if he survived the cross, to have woken up in the tomb and then made it out on his, this idea doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's true.
So the fourth idea is the easiest to do away with, is if the tomb wasn't empty, that the disciples just lied. Now that doesn't make, because in Jerusalem, if the tomb is over there and here's the disciples, oh, he rose from the dead, you just send someone over there and look and says, no, here's the body.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing stops. That didn't happen. The authorities couldn't do that because the tomb was empty. The only explanation that lines up with all these facts is that he did rise from the dead. And I'll add one more thing. I mentioned a moment ago, many atheists and non-believers have tried to disprove the resurrection. There have been those who really dug into the history and wound up concluding that the resurrection had happened, and then they became Christians. There's a famous book called Who Moved the Stone?
Yeah.
That I read when I was still an atheist. That had a big influence on me. It's like, yeah, this happened. But wait, resurrections, they don't happen. What happened? It did here, so how do you explain that?
True.
So,
yeah, thank you so much for explaining that. That was really great. Jesus Christ died so that we can go to heaven, and that is a gift. So can you explain to us how can we get this gift?
if Jesus was a sinner, then he would owe God his own debt.
Sure.
And he can't take someone else's. If I owe a judge $1 million fine for some crime, and I say, oh, well, I'll pay the fine for this guy too. Well, no.
And you only have $1 million.
Great, another money. But if someone does not owe and can pay, then that's there. But anyway, to answer your question, salvation is a free gift. We can't earn it. We can only accept it. And that's what Jesus made possible for us, that we can have a relationship with God. Only by accepting the gift and believing in him.
Salvation is by faith through Christ alone, and you can get that gift right now. According to 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2, it says, behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. So if you put your trust in Jesus Christ today, you will have everlasting life because Jesus Christ died for your sin. Thank you so much for watching the Grace and Clarity platform. See you next week.